Hi there, Lori here from Unique in the Creek, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really cute snow fairy angel. This angel is going to be kind of a primitive angel, but really cute, especially for a little girl's room to hang on their door or even above their bed, or for any of you that just absolutely love angels. This one is going to be really cute. So what I'm going to be using is the Unique in the Creek triangle board. We're going to be using 18-pound zip ties. You can either use 6-inch or 4-inch for this project. For the body or the dress, I'm going to be using this fur yarn. This yarn is made by Red Heart, and you can buy it at most craft stores. I believe Amazon even has it online. It is a jumbo 7, so it's quite not thick, but it will fill really well on the board. So if you're using a thin yarn, you probably will have to wrap your yarn more times than I'm going to be wrapping this yarn. Okay, and the reason I did pick this yarn is because I do want her dress to look like it's a fur dress, and you don't have to use as much yarn with this because it does give really good coverage. Okay, so this is the yarn I'm going to be using, 2 balls. You won't use full 2 balls, but I'm going to be using this yarn, and this is polar color, so it's like a cream. So that is for the dress. So you're going to be using the board, the zip ties, and this yarn for her dress. Okay, first thing we're going to do is you're going to preload closed your whole triangle board. So what that means is you're going to go down 1 hole, and in between each hole there is a line. Okay, and there's also numbers 12, 11, 10, 9, all the way up to number 1 at the top here. We're going to preload the whole board like this. Just going to down 1 hole and up the other. Okay, down 1 hole, up the other. Put the zip tie head to the tail, and you'll hear a zipping sound, and it should lock. You're going to preload the whole board just like this. Okay, and then once you got your whole board preloaded, then we're going to get our yarn, and with this yarn I'm going to cut 8-inch pieces. So I'm going to take my measure buddy. Now my measure buddy is 8 inches closed, so it's perfect size. So if you haven't seen our measure buddy, if you open up arm number 1, you can bring it all the way up to 14 inches and then 1-inch increments. And if you open number 2, it goes all the way to 20. So from here to here is 20 inches. And then if you close, it clicks. So this would be 14 with this just open, so from here to here. I only want 8, so I'm just going to keep the whole thing closed. And I'm going to wrap my yarn. So right from here to here is 1 inch. So I'm going to wrap my yarn around the measure buddy a few times. Okay, cut it off the ball, cut one end, flip it over, and cut the other end. Alrighty, so we got a bunch of pieces all cut. Now, if you want a really full dress, you can, and I'm using smaller zip ties for this part. Now you can do the whole, her whole dress in 4-inch zip ties. I just prefer using 6-inch, but for the edge here, if you have 4 inches, you can go from this hole around to the outside of the board, just like that, all the way up both sides. This will just give the dress a fuller look and without any chance of seeing the board. Okay, and we're going to put yarn in these small little ones going all the way up the side. So what you're going to do Now this yarn, like I said, is quite thick and gives good coverage. So I'm taking my 8-inch piece, folding it in half, and where it's the center, I'm putting this center right into the zip tie, just a little bit, and zipping it up. Okay? Take another piece, fold it in half, put the bent part in the zip tie, and zip it up. Now, when we're done row 12, we are at the end of filling up this whole board, you can trim so that the bottom is completely straight across. Now for these side ones, you're going to do exactly the same. So you're going to take your yarn, fold it in half, take the folded edge, put it into this little zip tie, and zip it up. Okay, and that just ensures that the board is not seen, and it does make the dress look so much fuller. All right, and then once you've filled up row 12, so it's easy to work row by row. So fill up all of row 12, including the little side one on this side, and once you're done, row 12, you're going to take some wire snippers, or if you have a zip tie gun or these little nippers, you're going to go right down and cut off the tails of the zip ties. Okay, making sure you get the little one at the side, and there we go. So you would finish this one, and once that one's done and you clipped all the tails, you would continue on to row 11. And as you're adding more and more yarn, they overlap. The yarn overlaps, so you will not see the board. So again, take your 8-inch piece, fold it in half. Now, if you're using thin yarn, you have to figure out how many times you think you need to go around for 8 inches to make it good coverage. Okay, so it's hard to tell you what yarn to use and not to use because all yarn will work. It just depends how thick you make your pieces of yarn. Okay, so, and you do all the rows from 12 all the way up to row 1 exactly like this. Stick it in, do the zip tie up, finish the whole row, including the outside piece if you're doing the outside piece, and again, go back once you're done and clip off your zip tail ties and just discard that. Okay, so once you're done all the rows, you will have full coverage. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I have one done. This also makes an awesome Christmas tree. Look how beautiful that is. I still have a few left down here I saved just for demonstration purposes. But when I flip this over, you can see I've done all the rows. Okay, and they're all done the same. And I did the side ones with the little 4-inch zip ties. You can use the 6-inch zip ties as well. They just hide easier on the side with 4-inch ones. But it's very full and you can't see the board. I just love how it's so soft too. Anyways, okay, so let's finish this up. Fold this in half. Snip these off. And we have three more pieces. So with this yarn, I use about 1.5 rolls of yarn, which is great because I have this much left to use for her, her hat. Alrighty. This yarn is a bit messy. You have to, I would shake it outside or shake it, give it a good shake in the garbage because it is like a faux fur yarn. It does shed, but give it a good shake and then it should stop shedding. Okay, so next we're going to work on her face.